Hey Algebra 2 kids, let's talk about the review. I want to talk about some of the challenging problems like number 2 where you had to do a plug-in of 2a cubed. Every time you see an x you'll plug in 2a cubed. Something you had difficulty with on the quiz was taking a monomial with an exponent and taking it to a power. So remember when you have 2a cubed, it's 8a to the ninth. That was something that we struggled on. It's 2a cubed multiplied by itself 3 times. And then once you're done, you're going to follow order of operations and get 48a to the ninth minus 4a cubed plus 9. Also, I wanted to talk about the graph. When I look at my calculator, I get better answers than what I'm going to be able to show you on this. But I started my table at -4, worked from there. It just kind of gave me a nice, pretty picture of the middle of the graph. Sorry, the table isn't big enough, so I'm just writing them on the sides here. But I'm finding these values by plugging in the x value and getting out the y to give myself the coordinate points. You can also use your y equals and look at a table. So these are my coordinate points. I'm going to plot those approximately. And then I'm going to draw the cubic among them. Now we need to answer some questions about that. And again, this is going to be very approximate. The answers on Moodle are much better. This has 3 directions, so it's an odd degree polynomial. I also can see 3 real roots. Let me zoom in here to show you. They're right about there at -4. Let me draw, there we go, -4 and -1 and about 1. On my calculator and on the answers on Moodle, I was able to find the actual, well not actual, but approximate roots a little bit better by calculating my 0. Second calculate to find the 0. For this, for right now though, they're about -4, -1, and 1. I think that third root, instead of being at 1, is a little bit more at 0.5 on the Moodle answers. Now let's talk about the maximum and minimum. Again, on my calculator, I can calculate second, calculate maximum, and second, calculate minimum. Just for our purposes now, that maximum appears to be at about -2.7, -2.7-ish. Come on, there we go, -2.7-ish. And the other one is at about 0.5, -2, 1, 1, -2. Again, the Moodle answers are a little bit more exact. You can find these by going on your calculator and just going to calculate maximum, calculate minimum. Okay, let's talk about the end behavior. So that deals with the 2 arrows. So we have one of the limits of the function as x goes towards -infinity and as it goes towards positive infinity. X going towards -infinity is this arrow here, and as it goes towards -infinity, the y values also go towards -infinity. Vice versa, this top guy is the limit as x goes to positive infinity, and the y values also go to positive infinity. All right, let's talk about the shell when we have fractional exponents. You're going to set up your shell to be 1x squared minus 9x, or u, plus 20, and figure out what goes inside that shell, and that's x to the 1/3. I'm going to rewrite this so it looks a little prettier and then factor it. When I factor u squared minus 9u plus 20, I get u minus 4 times u minus 5. -4 times -5 is positive 20, and when I add them I get -9. Now I need to rewrite these with x to the 1/3, set both of the factors equal to 0 and solve them. So I'm going to add 4 and 5 over, and then I'm going to cube both sides of both equations. So my answers are x equals 4 cubed and x equals 5 cubed. So 64 and 125. Lastly, let's talk about doing the synthetic division. So if I have a root of x minus 1, I'm sorry, if I have a factor of x minus 1, that means I have a root of 1. Then I'm going to write all of my coefficients, remembering if I'm missing any terms to fill in with a 0, and then drop down and multiply, drop down and multiply, drop down and multiply. My depressed polynomial is x squared minus x minus 6. I can factor that, being x minus 3 times x plus 2. And remember that that means I have roots of 1, positive 3, and negative 2, if I could talk. That's everywhere this graph crosses the x-axis at 1, 3, and negative 2. If I were to write all of the factors next to each other, it's x minus 1 times x minus 3 times x plus 2. All right, that's what I really wanted to go over. That's the basics of the test on Monday. As you look at your review, let me zoom out here. All right, as you look at the review, 10 and 11 you don't have to worry about for right now. And number 9, you can kind of pretend that it's a puzzle, I guess you could say. So anyway, enjoy guys. I hope this was helpful. Thank you much. Bye. All right, that is basically it. I hope that this has been helpful for you.